Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Young on first down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing we want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Young off the play fake. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Young to throw it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, Their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. So here are the Dolphins now as they'll be backed up to start this first drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
First down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Get him down up past the 15-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. A handoff as they run the counter play. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They'll run on 1st down. Turner gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 42. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10, and he'll give it here to his running back. And some room to maneuver. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
And their success running the ball in the previous game has to give them a lot of confidence, but they also understand going against a top 5 rush defense means you have to have a lot of offense in your game plan. Misdirection, counters, power game, maybe even some quarterback run to take the heat off of the running back.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Now a first down throw for Young. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now this one complete on the slant route. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here's the Jets punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
49 yards on the ground for him so far. 15-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Extra point up and through, and it's now 21-0. The drive there only... Spanning 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them. They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun, it's Young. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will... Takeover at the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things. Into
a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 120 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On 3rd down. Cotton. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He'll try again. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. The point after is good. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Young. And this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go around.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Young on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Let's go. You tighten up.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Whip, 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 whip.
They'll try to run this one in. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Point after up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him?
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just...
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Browns who are out on top. The Browns trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half from the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd. Looming. Back to throw. Richardson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Complete. This is Mitchell. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play there for the Dolphins. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Going to give this time to the tailback. A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. Only needing 2 yards on second down.
Check 26, check 26. After 60, after 60. I'm scared.
Operating from the gun, Richardson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. On the carry, it's Logan. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back. A solid stiff arm, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 155 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Right back to him on 1st down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Looking to throw. Richardson. He gets it complete to Harris. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And now a carry here for their fullback. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. No problem there on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 9, Young. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taking on the midfield logo. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They run again with Logan, and he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Young. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. It's a big play there for Miami.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. I hope you brought your left.
Off play action. Richardson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
This is Donnell with a grab. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Young now. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This is taken at the 18. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And possession will switch hand.
Entering team stats screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set
1st
to
and 10.
selected.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Back to throw. Richardson. It's brought in by Harris. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Young. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And out come the Dolphins now. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards. On the carry there, it'll be 2nd down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
He's checking. Crash. Shoot.
And to give this time to the tailback. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the Sharks. When they descend upon their prey, that's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now here's Young. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Young to throw it. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's the Jets punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. He'll take it at the 42. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins getting set to go here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Keenan. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, giving different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And Young's throw there incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Again, it's Young. And his throw is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
On 1st down, it's Turner. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That one looks like he'll throw here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10. On the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the Dolphins, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.